Good afternoon, guys. So I mostly say this, that I'm coming from the land of Hakuna Matata. That means no worry. But trust me, there's something to worry about. And personally, I like numbers. But I'll make sure this won't be like mathematician class. So just relax. So I'll be speaking about a bit of numbers. So those numbers are more centered on election participation, especially focusing on young people in Tanzania. So let's start. We are the nation of population of 60 millions. And on top of that, 80% of them are young people under the age of 35. That is simple saying that on every 10 people, 8 of them are under the age of 35, right? And on top of that, every 6 people out of 10 are under the ages of 25. That means we are the youngest nation ever. Just like in any other African countries, most of them. And when it comes to voting power, young people represent 57% of the voters. So that means in a simple way, we're the kings and queen makers. As simple as that. But the interesting fact is that once you come to the number of the lawmakers, number of the members of parliament, we have only 1% representatives. So we make a lot of people in power, but ourselves, we are not there. It's more like you're celebrating Christmas or Eid Mubarak. You cook a very festival dishes, but you don't save yourself a plate. Am I right? That's interesting. So as I said earlier, I like so much numbers. Before my next slide, let me just take a time to ask just some few basic questions. How many of us here have mobile phones, smart mobile phones? Just raise your hands. Thank you. How many of you use your mobile phone to access internet? That's pretty much the same in Tanzania. Let's find out. So currently, we have 29 million users active of internet in Tanzania. And the approximations say that on 2025, we'll be having 60 million users active of the internet. That means by numbers, like everyone will be on their internet, right? And the interesting fact is that 80% of them, they'll be using their internet service through their mobile phones. That means on every 10 people, 8 of them are using their internet in their mobile phones. And majority of that are who? We are the majority. So it's like you're back at home. You purchase your 10 GB data, you only use 2 MB, but we use almost like 9.5 GB. So all of that and put us into a crossroad for us as young people, like what should be the best intervention that we can come with, that it can influence our majority of young people, not just to go and vote, but also to go and contest for those positions. We need a bit of survey. So some of the key things come out. One of them is like the access of the information of the voting process, of how best I can contest, and the other for lights, that the access of information is a bit tricky for them. So it's like they have to look for it in a very intensive way. So we came with the ideas like, let's make things easier for us. How best can we do this? And here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to present our solution for that. There it is. We call it uchaguzi mkononi. Uchaguzi mkononi, that means is election at your fingertip. So this will be the first mobile application ever in Tanzania that will have all the information necessary for the voting process, but also to feature the part of civic education for those young people. And most important part is that we'll be putting also the simplified version of the Constitution's information. That, because you have to understand that voting is your constitutional right. Being a leader is a constitutional right. So it's more of putting all those kind of information at just their fingertips on an easy way to access. And as now that I'm talking to you, we have got an endorsement from the National Election Commissions to put this into practice. So it's a living idea. And for me myself, getting an opportunity of being here, I say it's like, wow, that's a good deal. You know why? Because America has the best technology ever in the country. And for me, coming here to learn about how technology works, how social media works, is leverage exactly for what I'm going to do back at home. So this is the whole point of us having this. And this will be quite free. So we'll have the version of this of the internet users, but also for those who don't have internet access or internet mobile phones, we'll be using like SSD code that you can have your just simple phone that but you can just access it all the way through. So this is what exactly we are planning on doing. And of course we believe that, we always say that nothing for young people without, exactly. And for us, it's like we've been speaking so much about the challenges of the African continent, from the social libertarian rights, from the education part, from the infrastructure and everything. And we as young people, we have the energy, we're innovative. And now we believe it's the right time to be on those decision-making tables, making those decisions for us. Because at some point, we have to do that. That's quite much important. And as I'm winding up, I remember we've been learning so much about Thomas Jefferson and everything. And I remember one part of his teaching, he said that as for a country to prosper, they need to have a very good education and an effective democracy process that engage the majority of the citizens. And for our case, those the majority citizens are young people today. So thank you so much.